be running giveaways throughout the launch. And so I'm very excited about these. Tammy is giving away 4 copies of her new book. And she is giving away a grand prize of a copy of each of her 4 books to one person. So there will be 5 giveaways that we'll do throughout the call. And when it's time to do those, what I'm going to have you do is just go ahead. If you'd like to be entered in the giveaway, go ahead and enter the word giveaway into the chat, and that is how you get entered into the giveaway. So you just go ahead and enter in there, and you will be entered in to receive Tammy's books through the gifts that are given away. And there is kind of due to the prohibitive costs of mailing internationally, they do need to be sent to an address in the US. So for those of you who aren't in the US, maybe if you have someone in the US you could have yours sent to, please feel free to still enter into the giveaway. And we will, we will be rolling those as we go along. And the other exciting piece that I wanted to mention is that Tammy's offering a free 2,000-word excerpt from her book. And it's also going to include a specially crafted bonus affirmative statement that she has made specifically for those on this launch. It's amazing. It's called Embodying My Sacred Unfolding. And that is going to be sent to everyone who's here. And all you have to do is just direct message me through the chat your email address. I'll be collecting those. And when you send me your email address, you will be receiving this as a PDF by the end of the day today. You'll get that. So if you'd like to receive that bonus gift for just as a thank you for being here, that gratitude for being a part of this, Tammy has come up with this amazing, affirmative statement that you can, carry with you. So that will be sent to you. After you have sent me your email address, I'll be able to get that out to you. And then I think, let me see here. I think the last thing, just if you have any tech issues or anything that come up during, any of the time today, please go ahead and reach out to me. I will be getting everybody's email addresses. So if I don't see it right away, I will see it eventually. I'll be going through those. So I believe that's everything that I had for you. And so without further ado, I'm sure we're all very excited to get to hear from Tammy. So welcome, Tammy. Thank you again for this amazing book and birthing it into the world. It's phenomenal. It's like an instruction manual for healing with ourselves and our animals. So thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Becky. I'm so grateful to you. And welcome, everyone. Oh my gosh, it's so good to see all of these beautiful, familiar faces and some new ones. And I'm just so excited. I've been just walking around with joy all morning long saying, today's the day, today's the day, today's the day. It's the day that we get to birth our baby. And I say our because so many of you here have your energy in it. And it takes a village. It's not just me. And we know that spirits is guiding everything that we do. So I'm just so grateful to be doing this today. And I just want to start, just give a 30-second opening prayer here. If everyone can just close their eyes and drop into their hearts. Take a deep breath. And we call upon our beloved animals, seen and unseen. And we invite your presence into this sacred space, this sacred, benevolent, joy-filled, protected space of this event. And we thank all of the animals for their love, their wisdom, their healing hearts. They've walked beside us through joy and sorrow, mirroring our souls, softening our wounds. And we also call upon the beings of light, our guides and allies who love us unconditionally, to bless this gathering with grace, with love, with connection. So take one more deep beautiful, healing breath and express gratitude. And so it is, and so it shall be. Thank you, thank you. So who already has, maybe by a show of who has their books? Does everybody have their, look at all the books already. Oh, good. Awesome. Awesome. I can't believe it's finally the day where everybody gets to hold one. So, and did you notice that the Grand Dame Penelope Smith wrote the foreword to it? Yeah, how blessed am I too that she said yes. You never know till you ask. And when she said absolutely, I thought I love having her energy in the book as well. So this book is a blessing from my heart to yours. Know that it's decades of research that went into creating this book. And it's also a book for practitioners as well to be able to utilize. It's a resource that I know many of you have already mentioned that you're using with your clients, which is incredible because I know Inner Traditions, my publisher, has had it available for a few weeks now. So some people got it a little bit earlier. So show of hands, how many of you are here because an animal found the secret passageway into your heart? I have a feeling that was the case. I love it. So they change us, don't they? They change us for the better. They come into our lives and they show up and they heal us. They show us how to love in a way that we didn't even know we weren't loving before. And it's extraordinary. So I see everything that I do as being a way to honor animals for what they've done for me and for what they've done for so many people. So I've been driven for the past 25 years to really help people and animals to heal their emotional wounds. That's what this particular book is so much about. It's actually one of the soul contracts of coming together to heal our emotional wounds together. And I think it really did begin for me 25 years ago when I didn't know what healing emotional wounds was. But once I started my certificate course on interface therapy and learned about these 5 core emotional wounds and saw the difference that it made in my life, and then in turn saw the mirroring effect within animals, it became my mission, one of my life's missions, to be able to put out this work to all those who might benefit. And at least all the research that I've done on it is certainly going to show up in this book. So I want to tell you, I want to kind of begin this first quarter of our event here with telling you more about what's in the book, especially for those of you obviously that don't have it yet. What is this? So, okay. At the time that we create these emotional wound protected survival patterns. Every time, whether or not we have wounds of betrayal or abandonment or invasiveness or terror, or in this life or in other lives, and denial of self, it creates in childhood when we have these origins in this life coping mechanisms, and it creates a pattern that's very predictable for how it shows up in our lives and how it will continue to show up in our lives. And the thing of it is that our souls, we never intended to hold on to these patterns and keep using them throughout our entire life. They were brilliantly used when we were early in our lives. We wouldn't have gotten our needs met. We wouldn't have gotten through those times without creating these patterns. But as we age, they kind of become a little bit obsolete, worn out. And then we start noticing how we're calling in the same pattern, we're doing the same thing, expecting a different outcome, and all of these things consistently keep happening that we may not, we may not even want. So that's why, it's kind of time to begin to dismantle those. And so all of this research that I found on how these things show up for animals and for people, and I'm not the first one to write about the 5 core emotional wounds at all. These were actually discovered by a student of Freud's, Willem Reich. And Willem Reich discovered that there were these 5 emotional wound patterns. And then several students of his went on to add in the spiritual components. This is 100 years ago. The spiritual components and the energetic components for how it shows up in our energy. And then in previous decades, many others have written books about the 5 core emotional wounds within people. This is Barbara Ann Brennan. This is Stephen Kessler. This is Anodea Judith. Fabulous, beautiful work that they're doing. And it's again been my focus so much over the last 25 years. And I've added in the animal components to begin showing how they show up within our animals, and then how they show up in our relationships with our animals, and how when we embark on a healing journey, a conscious healing journey with our animals, beside our animals, how much faster these heal, because we're initially focused to get our animals to feel better, right? That motivates us animal mamas, right? We want them to feel better. Well, guess what? When we feel better, they feel better. And even though we know that on some level, what this book can do is it can show you, here are the characteristics, here are the ways that it's going to show up, and this is going to take you back to here's the wound, and here's how to heal it within you, within them, and within your relationship, which is going to be the fastest road to wellness for you both. So, so I want to talk to you more about how the book is laid out. Quick little overview here. I talk about emotional wounds, and then it goes into 5 different chapters, each one about one of these wounds. And within each of those chapters, I talk about an overview. I talk about the origin of the wound. I talk about how they show up within animals, how they show up within people, how they show up in your relationship, and here's how you fix it. Here's what you do. And what I want to do is kind of bring in, I think I have a slide. I'm not going to go over all the details on these slides. I just want to show you, here's the types of things that are going to be in each one of those chapters. So this is an example. So Becky, if you could pull up the first slide, this kind of gives you, thank you. This kind of gives you the overview of these are the 5 core emotional wounds. And it just kind of goes through every single one, the origin of the wound, the fears, the survival action, the shadow pattern, the distorted beliefs, and the healing need. That's all of them together. And then Becky, if you'll take it to the next one, this is what's in these individual chapters. This is as an example for the scared one profile, which is healing terror. You're going to find out what the fears are, the survival action, the shadow pattern effects, the distorted beliefs that are bought off on for survival way back when by the animal and the person, the potential causes, the time of the wound or origination, the affected chakras. For the practitioners, there's going to be plenty of information in here for you to be able to help your clients. The governing element, I love to add this in because every single pattern out of the 5, there's a governing elemental force of nature that shows up a little bit more, and gifts that show up because of the overuse of a particular pattern. Also, we build in certain ways that we wouldn't unless we had that pattern. And then, of course, the birth parent emotional state. And then let's go to the next slide as well. Again, this is just a quick overview. I don't want you to have to read these, but I mean, these are the types of things that are in each chapter. It's the potential characteristics exhibited by the human, by the animal, the potential physical and psychological issues for both, how to best approach a person or animal with this pattern, and then the positive self-talk for the human, the positive talk to use with an animal. Of course, they know what we're saying. They get the energy from it. Everybody here knows that. They understand us. And then the healing guidance for each. There's a lot more healing guidance also through practices, but thank you, Becky, for bringing those in. So that's just to give you a very quick overview of the types of things that are in the book around each one of these patterns. A lot of information, like I said, decades of research that bring you this information that's hopefully going to help you both to be able to pivot out of your patterns and not, at the minimum, spot them when they're in the midst of it, so that you can then, okay, take a breath, get in the observer self, see what's needed for yourself and for your animal in that given moment. Then once you start doing that, you're building a new muscle. Oh, okay, I'm doing that thing. Because the patterns are not who we are. They're the coping mechanisms that we put in place to survive, what the ego put in place to survive. We no longer need that. We have to kind of meet that fear and take it by the hand. Say, I see you. I know you. And thank you for trying to help me. And I'm going to listen to you when I need to. But right now, we're going to keep moving forward and switch out of reacting and into responding. And of course, that's what we're helping our animals to do as well. That's what we're going to help them to do because we know those reactors, right? I call the patterns, my titles for the patterns are the needy one, the scared one, the sensitive one, the protector, and the perfect ones. I remember them all. I remember them all. It's a big deal. So also in the book, like I said, lots of practices and meditations for each pattern. And I also want to tell you, I didn't have this finished by the time the book went to print, but I do want to let you all know that I had these meditations and practices professionally recorded, and I had them put on my YouTube channel and also on the meditation app Insight Timer. It's a free app. So when you get to that point, of course, if you have the audiobook, you'll be able to hear it more live. Um, but you can also go on YouTube or on Insight Timer to listen to those when you know that you're working on healing a particular pattern. In the back of the book, there's a frequently asked questions that I get all the time during my course that I've taught on these 5 core emotional wound patterns over the last 9 or 10 years. And I really recommend that you read those because they're going to bring in additional information. And they also have a list for because there's crossover with the meditations and practices. There may be 2 or 3 that that you're going to be able to use the grounding one on or the boundary one on. So back in the frequently asked questions, refer to that for which ones are going to help which patterns. So, and then I also have the wish technique, which is a 4-step emotional healing technique, an entire chapter on that to go through details of how to do that. It's a fabulous resource to help you to heal your emotional wounds with your animals. And with all of these practices, you're going to invite your animal with you to heal with you. They're getting a hit of whatever you're having. So invite them to join you in what you're listening to and what you're doing, and let them choose whether or not they want to be right next to you, if they want to stay in the other room. You wanted them to have free will to do it in the way and manner that they so choose. There's also a fabulous, I added a chapter at the end calling, the title is Moving Beyond Guilt and Regret Regarding an Animal, because over the years of working with people, I see how much we hold on to some choice we made with an animal in the past and beat ourselves up about it until forever. And so it's time to shift that. All of us animal lovers have made choices that we wish we would have done differently, and we move forward and we do it differently with the next animals. We make different choices based on what those other animals taught us in that moment. So, and there's a great story with Lori's in that, and with her horse Vinny. Can't wait for you to read about that. When she first called me, she says on her intake form, I want to heal the guilt for why I wasn't able to fix him. It was something like that. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but Lori's nodding. I see her here. Yes, but it's a fabulous story that I really encourage you to read. So excited. So I think it's time for the very first book winner, Becky. So who won the first copy of Your Animal, Your Soul Mirror?
All right. So our first winner of the call we have, and before I announce this, actually, I wanted to add something that I forgot to earlier, that for those who have sent me your email addresses, if your Zoom name doesn't have your first and last name on it, if you could please include your name along with your email address so that I'll be able to know
Wrote
who's
in
sending.
giveaway.
Yeah.
Yeah, for those who are writing in giveaway. And for those new people, write giveaway in the chat because that's how we're going to use for who wins the giveaways.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you, Becky.
No, you're absolutely right in doing so. Yes, exactly. So yeah, for the giveaway and as well for when you send your email address, both things. So that being said, for the giveaway, the winner is Catherine. And I don't have a last name, but I don't know if there's more than one Catherine, but it's Catherine with a K who has a purple icon for her name. Catherine, are you here? Let's see. If you'd like to unmute and say something,
Or just type in your
or
chat your
type it in
last
the
name.
chat too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, you two
And
will.
that's fine. Yeah, I'll go ahead and message you, Catherine. Maybe I don't know if your mute's working or not. And so I'll go ahead and message you. And if by the end of the call, yeah, we can sort it out. So that'll be great. So congratulations, Catherine. You're our first winner.
Thank you, Becky.
Thank you.
So I want to move into my second part of this wonderful event, and that's the. So here's the for those of you that have my other books, you know how I love sharing stories that help drive the message home. And in this particular book, and I feel the emotional coming up already because these people that are where I've shared these examples especially in those emotional wound pattern chapters, so that you can see how they play out, how it shows up in real life, and how you move beyond, how you heal together, which is really important. It's one thing to tangibly learn, oh, this and this and this, but then when you read a story, an example story, it's like, oh, now I see how it comes together. It becomes real. And the people that have stories in the book that I wrote stories about, every single one of them, without hesitation, said yes to being very vulnerable, very raw, very real in the sharing of very intimate details of their stories. And so I really want to thank them and honor them and their animals. Their animals, even if they were shy, their animals were going, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. Let's help others. And that's what they all said in one manner or fashion in a way, but they all came back and said, if this will help others, then yes, I want to be part of this book. And so I thank every single one of them for doing that. Yeah, from my heart to yours. Thank you. And so, what I want to do, I'm not going to give away what the stories are because I want you to read and have that first time experience. But I do want to at least give you as many as what we have time for here, which I know it won't be as many for those of you who are here from the book. But I want you to have that face and voice so you can see this is a real person, a relatable, wonderful, beautiful light that you might have something in common with, and you're learning something that they learned that can help you and your animal to heal better, feel better, bring in more joy, bring in more love into your lives, bring more abundance, have a thriving ability to embrace life and ground into the knowing that you're going to be okay no matter what you're going through, because all of us here have been through a lot and know that there are tools to help you. So, so like I said, many of them are here today. So I think I'm gonna start with Zelka, just because she's in Dubai and it's midnight there, and and just in case she falls asleep on us, which I don't think she will, but
Not so bad. It's okay.
but Selka is a spiritual coach and she's a holistic healer. She's actually out of Germany, and but she just happens to be in Dubai on business today, and she was gracious enough to join us. And she has this extraordinary story wherein she's in the abandonment chapter, experienced abandonment very early in her life. And then she gravitated in her life to adopt and save bunnies. And she had a just phenomenal teacher, Nellie or Neela? Nellie?
Yeah, native.
No, okay. And really changed her world. So while we're not going to be sharing kind of everything about the story, I just want to know from you, Zaka, is there anything that you'd like to, say that you're hoping for people to walk away from after reading the story about you and this beautiful big German bunny?
Yeah, so what I would like to share actually is that we often come to the as an approach like would like to heal the animal or heal together with the animal. But it also, I just learned during my journey with Nela just to see her more as a role model. It was not so much about healing, So she displayed, the healing was only, let's say, the first half of year that she was in my life. But then she displayed the healed state, and she was a role model which guided me actually.
Beautiful. Yes, she was. And it's an extraordinary story. We have it, and let's bring up, I think we have a picture of her, of Neela. There she is. Beautiful. Isn't she great? Yes. Thank you, Becky. I appreciate it. Yes. So, and that's such a great point. Yeah, she became this role model, and animals are doing that for us. They're modeling a way of being that we can emulate. Boy, that's the greatest version of flattery there could be, right? We're emulating what they're modeling for us. So, thank you so much for joining us from Dubai
You're welcome.
tonight. Yes. And I think the next person I'd like to bring up would be Shaylee Evans, and she had a story with her horse Kip. Shaylee is an animal communicator, a podcast co-host, life coach for pets and people. She's doing wonderful work. She was actually an early reviewer of the book too, and she's in the chapter called "Around the Perfect Ones" of perfectionism. So Shaylee, welcome.
Thank
Let me see. There she is. Hi, it's good to see you. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so your story is just like it's gonna it's gonna blow a lot of people away. It really will. She went on a very deep, beautiful, transformational story with her horse Kip it started in a very difficult manner. And then they shapeshifted, both of them, several times into the newest version of themselves. While Kip was indeed such an extraordinary teacher for you, what are you hoping that the readers will walk away with from embracing and learning more about? And thank you for being so vulnerable with your story. She was like, no, let's just go there. I even tried to soften it. She was like, no, let's just put it out there and make it real.
Well, first of all, thank you for including me because it's been beautiful working with you and your work really resonates with me. I love using it with my clients. Yeah, Kip reminds me that he isn't a victim of my choices. He's my equal, and he's capable of the experiences that we've gone through because he recognizes the love beneath all of my actions. And he's always reminding me that the goodness in me is the reason I can recognize it within him. And I think I and he would want readers to know that that's true for them as well, that every decision we make for or with our animals is rooted in love or from our search for that love. And as long as we're learning, we're honoring them in the process. And I think living a felt experience rather than tallying up what's right and wrong or seeing things for how they feel good or bad. I think I'm hoping that people will read my story and remember to have gratitude for their process of becoming and letting that pain turn to wisdom and remembering that every decision that we make is rooted in our current understanding of love.
Beautifully said. I love it. Let's pull up a picture. I chose this one photo you sent that Becky, if you could bring it up, that I just thought, oh my gosh, I love this image. Look at this. Oh, if that doesn't show you the love between them.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Becky. Thank you so much, Shaylee, for being here today and for your contribution to the book. Okay, next, let's go to Brenda Ignarosa in Nieve, her dog Nieve. She's an animal communicator in Mexico. And she's in the pattern called the sensitive one with invasiveness in her background. And this story that Brenda and her dog Nieve go down is something that I think a lot of people are going to relate to, because the sensitive one profile is probably, I see more clients with that are in animal work, that are doing some type of animal communication or are really drawn to get emotionally close to their animals. And her dog experienced being attacked. And I know many of you have had one of your animals attacked, and that sent her on this beautiful journey together to heal their invasiveness wound. So Brenda, welcome wherever you are. I'm assuming you're on here. You can
I'm here. I'm here. Hi,
Oh,
how are
there she
you?
is. Hi, Brenda. Good to see you.
Hi, you too. It's an honor to be here. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you again for your contribution to the book. It's such a beautiful story. And actually, let's bring up the picture first before Brenda answers, and let them see this. I actually stole one from your Instagram recently that I thought was, I thought was really good. Aw, isn't that a great one? Aw.
We have the same hoodies together.
Yeah, the same hoodie, yes. That's great. Thank you, Becky. Yeah, she's in the sensitive one pattern. So what did this story mean for you to be so vulnerable and share? And what are you hoping that readers will walk away with?
Well, first, I want the readers to know that everything happens for a reason. I didn't know that I'm in the spiritual path, and I didn't even know that these things happen because for a reason, right? Because Nieve was telling me or trying to protect me and tell me that I needed to heal a pattern. So I was very grateful to have that conscious, and then people to know about this, and to know that we can heal together, and if we know these things, we can heal and we can be better. And as Tammy said earlier, if we are okay, our dogs are okay, and I am the proof of that. And I think that is the most beautiful thing we can do for them, to be
Oh,
okay.
thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
And just for the sacred work that you both do together. I mean, she takes him with her the places, and wherever they go, people are drawn into their healing energy and are changed because of their love that they exude by being who they are and showing up as love. So thank you, Brenda, for being with us today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, and I'm not sure I haven't seen Katie yet, but Katie Ryan and her kitty Athena are another beautiful story that's in the Sensitive One chapter, where they experienced invasiveness. It was interesting because how this invasiveness wound reveals itself through our animals sometimes is unique. And Katie has an experience that maybe some of you have related to and not, but here we go, and we go to adopt an animal thinking I'm doing a good deed, and I go down to the Humane Society, I'm saving a life, and it's time for a kitten, and she feels drawn to this kitten, and then the kitten comes home, and the kitten starts biting her all the time. I mean, like bite all the time. It's like, what do you do with that, right? Because you want to love, you have this little story in your mind for how this is supposed to go down and how you're going to have this loving little relationship. And you have a kitten who's healing, who's helping you to heal some invasiveness wounds, and healing, of course, on her own as well. So I just consider the fact that Katie was able to even share this story at all quite brave, because and again, she did it if it would help others. She wanted to do it. So Katie, are you, let me see, are you even here? You can unmute if you are. Let me see. Katie, hi, it's good to see you. As always, thank you again for sharing your story with Athena. And again, I see it as something that's going to be helping a lot of people. And so can you kind of, what do you think? Is there a pearl of wisdom out of what you've experienced with Athena that you're hoping that readers will capture from your story?
Oh, that is such a big question. I think I was so desperate and I was so like, divine timing brought me to you to help. And I feel like it's still a journey. Like she totally bit me the other day. But it has made me work so much on like boundary issues, like for me. And so it's like so amazing to have her as a teacher. And it's so hard sometimes, but it feels like worthwhile. She's sitting right here next to me doing her own thing. Um, I feel like it's just like a big experiment to pay attention in a different way and to really just like learn from all your teachings about like how to see the relationship in a totally different way. And that's what sort of makes it possible for us to like be together on this like crazy journey. So
Yeah.
thank you. I'm really
Yeah, and to know that for those that are reading, that because let's face it, our relationship is forever evolving. It's forever changing. It's not like all of a sudden one day, oh, we've healed everything and it's perfect. That's probably not going to happen, right? We're probably still going to be working through things together and the journey continues. And so we can continue it from a more conscious journey. And I found from a conscious place. And Katie, I just really admire and honor you for how you have embraced this relationship with Athena in the manner that you have, and that you shared the story to help others. And I know it will. So thank you for that. Oh, yes. Let's bring up. Here she is. Here's Athena. Cute. Isn't she cute? There we go. Thank you, Becky, for that. So, so let's do, how much time we got? Okay, let's do one more. It's so hard for those that I'm not going to be able to get to. So let's bring on, I'm going to talk about Mary Burkholz and her kitty RC. Mary is someone who started, she started caring for creatures, a no-kill shelter, probably 35 years or so ago, probably more than that. Extraordinary center that's and she leads from such a conscious place with these beautiful animals, has helped thousands of animals find new homes, and she had a story from early in her when she was first beginning, when some of the animals were actually living out of her home while they were still building different facilities for the animals on the property. And I'm not going to give away any details that will take away from the joy that you're going to have in reading this story about this this incredible cat that she saved with others. It took a village actually of others that came together to help this one cat that had been brought into a kill shelter, I think, and then ultimately to the vet. And she just saw his strength from the beginning, and she called him RC. And RC stands for Remarkable Cat. And boy, did he live into that in a way that I think even surprised Mary herself, and many countless others, that this one cat ended up changing, forever changing. So Mary, let's bring Mary on and send her some love for all that she's done for so many animals. Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Mary. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Yeah, welcome. So RC's story is it's going mainstream here. It's not a secret anymore. And I told Mary, we were emailing earlier, and I'm like, I'm sure RC is organizing this event that he's just reeling people in if they get outlined, and he's here with us. What does this story mean to you of sharing it, and what are you hoping for people to walk away from?
Well, I feel like, first of all, thank you for all of your books. You've widened my perception that has helped me endure being in animal rescue for 37 years now. But I think for me, RC sort of taught me the depth of understanding and knowing that the animals I work with on a regular basis have. A lot of us in rescue feel, oh, we're the ones rescuing these animals. And the reality is it's a two-way partnership, and they're helping us. And I understand now more just how many of these animals have come into my life, as well as the lives of the people who work here or volunteer here for varying reasons. And they show it to me almost every day.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, I can't wait for people to read and learn more about it. Let's bring up his picture. So that people can see, and it's an older picture, so it's not digital. It's not digital because it was from some time ago. But there's RC sleeping in one of his in the double bed that the thing the kitty mamas create for their animals, and where they go to lie down. So there's RC, and he's in the protector pattern, betrayal. He had a lot of betrayal early in his life. Thank you, Becky. Yeah. So again, thank you, Mary, so much for all that you do, and for being here today to support the book's birth.
Thank you.
So I won't be able to get to, well, let's just show the slides of, I won't be able to bring the people up because there's not enough time, but let's just show the slides of a couple more photos. There's one of Max, I think, and I just love this photo of a story with Heather and Max. He's in the Perfect One profile, that he's this depiction of, let me see, there he is, yes. This is Max. Talk about the perfect one. These are all of the dogs around him at doggy daycare saying, he's our king. We love him so much. Isn't it wonderful? Yes. And Heather's an amazing, his mama is an amazing holistic healing practitioner as well. So I look forward to you reading that story. And then let me see, the next image is, I forget. Oh yes, The Path to Power. It's a story about Kathy and Storm, and this is going to be an amazing story for so many of you who have had any animals in the house. If you had two animals that didn't get along well or had a little riff, you're really going to learn a lot from what Kathy learned through Storm, through her amazing and beautiful kitty Storm. So make sure that you don't miss that as well. So, and then I mentioned earlier that you're also going to have a story with Lori and Vinny, her horse, and I just realized I don't have a picture to show you of them. And then there's many others as well, but those are just the people who I knew were going to be here today, and thank them for being here and supporting you. So let's go ahead and announce two more book winners.
Sounds good. So we've got the next two winners here. And so the first one that was selected, I've been using a random number generator to select everybody. And so the first one that was selected didn't have a name on their thing, and I haven't had a chance to go through and see if maybe you sent me your name later, but it is VKL Keeler. It was the name of the Zoom account that it was under. So if that is you, congratulations. You've won a copy of Tammy's book. And if you could direct message me your address, we will get that sent out to you. And just a reminder for everybody, we can only use addresses that are in the United States. So if you are from the United States, or if you're from outside of the United States, you'll need to have an address that we could then send the book to, and then you can get it that way still. So that is our first winner. So congratulations, VKL Keeler. If you want to send me your name and your address, that would be fantastic. And our second winner is Nicole Pallet. So congratulations, Nicole. And I'll just say congratulations, Vicky. So yay, congratulations, guys. Send me your address and you will be receiving your book soon.
Wonderful. Thank you, Becky. Yay. And yeah, and we'll get to the next time we do a round, we'll do one book and then somebody won 4. And then know that even if you didn't win any of those at the end, you're going to have an opportunity to get 2 autographed books. Well, 2 people will get one. And then I'm also giving away a tandem healing, animal human tandem healing session to someone, and I'm going to talk to you about that towards the end with how you can win that. So let's move into the next part real quick here. So we're blessed with more surprise guests, and who I want to bring on now are 2 or 3 of the advanced reviewers of the book. There were quite a few. I was really blessed to have so many reviewers of the book. And today I'm blessed and grateful to have a few here that would love to share with you maybe what they walked away with from the book. So I'm going to first pull up, let me see, Barbara Teckle, and she's an intuitive oracle card reader for people and animals. And gosh, she's a creator of Animal Reflections Healing Oracle deck. She's an artist. She has, probably 5 books. So Barb, are you here today?
I am here.
Yeah, there she is. Hi.
I want to know where the ice cream is because it's a party, right?
Yeah, that was expensive to ship. So,
Okay, yeah.
so, well, thank you for being here. And, I'd love for you to kind of give your take on, what you felt about the book and any recommendations for people.
Oh, I could like speak for 3 hours on your behalf, Tammy. I love and adore your work. I feel like I have walked beside you for the past 25 years, but not really realizing it until about 5 years ago. Very similar path of understanding animals as mirrors. And it was surprising to me. I guess not really. I've healed the invasiveness wound, as you know, and has been in one or two of your books. But as I was reading your book this time around, and I shared that with you in an email as I was reading it, I was going through a situation with my dad, and the abandonment wound, needy one, came up in me. My parents were divorced when I was really young, and all of a sudden I'm realizing I'm so angry at him, and this is not a blame or shame against him. I love my dad dearly. But this abandonment wound was coming up, and I thought, yep, everything Tammy talks about, we're never completely done being healed. But I reflected also on the intro that Penelope shared, and it's something I really believe at my core. And I know, Tammy, you walk the talk too, is, to do this healing work and to help others, it's really important that we stay on our healing path. And just as Tammy talks about in her book, we're peeling away the layers of that onion. And as I'm reading this and I'm reflecting on my relationship with my last dog, Gidget, who helped me with the invasiveness wound, I also saw in that relationship, she's been gone 6 years, that also, she had abandonment issues as well. And as I came to the part in Tammy's book, and I'm going to try not to cry, I really loved the line that you said, show up on behalf of yourself. And I was reminded again how important that is. And it's not just for me. It's for, I don't have animals currently in my life, but any clients and animals that I work with, how important that is to first show up for myself so I can show up and be compassionate for others. And I always have to say, every time I get the opportunity to speak, because I was so blessed to experience, as I continue to heal what needs to be healed within myself, to watch how our animals respond to that. And I think so many of you on the call today have spoken to it and can absolutely speak to this. Or if you're just not quite sure yet, I really want you to believe in this. And this is what Tammy so beautifully shares throughout her book too, is when we do the healing work and to see our animals transform, It is one of the greatest gifts we can ever get in our lives. I just feel so honored and so privileged to have been a part of that, to be a part of Tammy's circle, to be a part of her work, to now share it in the work that I do. And I just want to say a little bit about, you know, for me, when I work with people and animals, I'm working with oracle cards to tap into the energy, to see the patterns, the distorted belief. And one of my favorite things, Tammy, about your book that I was sitting on the edge of my seat waiting for was those charts. Because for me, I'm very visual. So the cards help me connect to the energy and paint this bigger picture. And now I can bring in all those different, the characteristics, the physical, psychological aspects, and really help people and animals to go to that deeper level and to heal on a level that is sustainable. So I'm so excited for your book, Tammy. I know, I feel it in my heart. It is going to help so many people. It helped me on another healing level reading that book, and I'm just so grateful for you and for your work, and for everybody here that is doing the work. So thank you. Thanks so
Thank
much.
you, Barb. I'm crying. It's like, oh, thank you, Barb. I so appreciate you, and I love your sacred work in the world. I'm very grateful. Thank you. Okay, let's bring on Elizabeth Johnson, and she's these are amazing people. Find them on the web, and look at their beautiful work in the world, because they've done. And Elizabeth, I was able to, Barb, I've loaned your books out, but Elizabeth has a book called Know Your Dog's True Nature: Understanding Canine Personality Through the 5 Elements. It's an amazing book. She's also an empath, a healer, a mentor. And so let's welcome her on. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi, Tammy. It's so good to be here. And this is amazing. What a fun, I think it's a fun party, just animals and people and everything. So, so as you know, I endorsed your book. So I read it twice. So now I'm on my second time. I'm almost finished with it. I'm finished with all of the wounds and all of that. And what I discovered reading through it, because I would stop with a chapter and I would kind of feel it. And then I was kind of hungry to go into the next chapter and feel that one, to try to find out, like, what's my primary wound and wounding in my life. And and Pretzel was laying right next to me, so she was kind of Pretzel's my 4-year-old dog who had a really bad birth situation, and born under a drug house with a mother with no milk and siblings dying everywhere and a lot of chaos. And so very full of visceral fear, which I talk about and relate to in my book as well. And so we were sitting there, and I think she was feeling my little bursts of, oh, wow, I thought I healed that. I thought I was done with that. Oh, I thought I was done with that too. How interesting. And a couple of times it was sort of like when you don't want to, when you touch a hot pan and you go, ah, and you go, okay, I have to sit with this. And what it felt like to me was I was going through time travel. Like I was going backwards in time, kind of like the ghost of Christmas past. Then I was heading back through all the way to my birth, which was my primary and first, obviously, wounding, substantial. And it's something that's been kind of on my mind lately and just sort of coming in. And Pretzel had that same thing. And I've attracted numerous other animals with the woundings that have come in my life. I've had 17 rescues and, herds of horses and cats and all sorts. And so a lot of them, there's always at least a couple that come in and just really bring in some awareness about wounding, soul woundings. And sometimes I think we think we've dusted and cleaned pretty well. I'm 64 and a half, so I feel like oh, something's going on. That I've done a lot of work on a lot of these and really come back through with a lot of goodness and understanding and light out of them, and bringing that forward to others and sharing that with others. And yet this sort of witnessing of going back in time was so profound for me, because I think when we heal our wounds, we're working on one segment of our life, right? And we're in it, and it's painful, and we're working through it, and we try to figure it out, and we do what we can. We, consult people like you, Tammy, and we read books, and we hug our animals, and and go out in nature or whatever it is. um, but going back and seeing the whole trail all at once was really significant for me, just to see, like, it was just this time travel, like witnessing all the wounds, and how even in the early years, like my first year, I have memories, and I remember feeling, instead of feeling scared and quiet, feeling strong, feeling love, wanting to understand what understanding was, why do people do what they do, sort of thing. And that sort of elevated its way all through my life. And so it was really a beautiful process for me to read it the second time for me, and not just for endorsing the book. And Pretzel and I have made a pact that we're going to go through all the wonderful, um, helpful suggestions that you have, and the meditations and things like that. And we're going to kind of clean up a little more, because she's only 4, and she's got, she's got a ways to go, and with her fear and her woundings, and yet she's a gloriously funny, happy animal that is like to die for hilarious sometimes, and except when she's not. So anyways, I just want to thank you for that, because that sort of time travel was really fascinating for me to go through and feel. And actually I did that last night. So at the end of my day yesterday, I sat down and I read that for the second time. So it's still fresh in me, and I'm really grateful for what you put out in the world, Tammy. And
Oh, thank you.
yeah. There's so much soul wounding, and I think that goes on with animals and ourselves. And I think that, when we can find some wonderful ways to manage that, or to share that, or to share it for healing purposes, that's really powerful. So thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. How wonderful. I love that. I'll look forward to updates with you and Pretzel. And thank you for reading it again and for reviewing it. Being an early reviewer, it means so much to my heart. And I know, everyone, we're getting close to that hour. And for those of you, just hang tight. We'll obviously go a little bit long here. Not my intention, but hopefully you'll get lots of juicy things out of this. And I have one more reviewer to bring on, and then we'll start, and then we'll have a couple more winners announced. So let me bring on my beautiful soul sister, Stephanie Redfeather, she has a doctorate in shamanic psychospiritual studies. She's the author of The Evolutionary Empath, and then she has an oracle card deck called Empath Activation Oracle, which is extraordinary. Again, doing beautiful work in the world, just like Elizabeth and Barb. And I'd like to bring Stephanie up. Welcome, Stephanie.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Tammy. Your work it's like once you read it, there's this experience of, well, where has this been? Why it's like it's so obvious and so clear, and it's like, how is it just now being written? How is it that somebody's just now bringing this into form? And so you have a way of presenting it in a way that has this feeling of, well, of course. And so I particularly love that you used when you were talking about the history of the psychological components, right? I read Stephen Kessler's 5 personality patterns. I have been working and playing in the energy field for 25 years. And so it really highly contributed to my own understanding and my work with clients and students. And so, you know, I'm in the animal version, I'm the needy one. You know, as you said, it has different names. But I think it was just so brilliant to overlay the animal piece on top of this, because it gives people in their relationships with animals a super solid toehold into an entirely different way that has decades and decades and decades of research and you know, movement behind it, to really understand more deeply your own self and to heal those pieces that are being presented through the animal relationship. You know, this book, and of course all your books are meaningful too, because from a shamanic perspective, you know, everything in the world is animated and sentient, and we are in relationship with it. And so I love that this book just continues to cultivate and foster what so many of us know, is that our animal companions are sentient, they are intelligent, they have a soul, they are here for a reason, and that we are not the top of the food chain, you know, by like so many of us have been taught, that we are walking as co-equal partners in this journey of life.
Beautiful. Yes, that's so important for people to learn and to know. And I thank you so much. Words matter, very meaningful to me and helpful to others. Thank you. So Becky, let's go ahead and do 2 more winners. We'll do one single winner, and then we'll do one that one's going to win a copy of all 4 of my books, different books.
Fantastic. All right. So we've got the first winner of the copy of Your Animal, Your Soul Mirror is Diane Waltner. Congratulations, Diane. If you would message me your physical address, I will get that over to the right people so that you will receive your book soon. So congratulations, Diane. And now for the grand prize of this section, at least of the books, you'll receive all 4 of Tammy's amazing books, which are all written in that same voice that Stephanie was just talking about, that Tammy, you have this ability of just capturing you know, these concepts in a way that is understood and can be ingested and then actually, you know, integrated into our lives. So the winner of all 4 is Randy R. So congratulations, Randy, and congratulations to all of our winners. Again, Tammy's got some other special giveaways at the end, and she'll tell you more about those. And then if you wanted to receive the excerpt and the wonderful affirmation, just go ahead and make sure you've sent your email to me. So congratulations to our winners, guys.
Congratulations, everyone. Yes, I'm so excited. And all of those books will come from Simon & Schuster directly to a U.S. address. So if you know somebody in the U.S. that you can have it sent to, that's fine as well. So let's move into the kind of more closing part here. And let's bring up, what I want to bring up next is the slide for ways that you can help get this book out to all of those who are going to benefit from it in some way. I want to hear from you. So let's bring up that slide of ways that you can help. And I'm so grateful for this. So ways you can get it out there, gift it. You know, you can maybe even to an animal healing center or a shelter. You can write a review on Amazon or on Goodreads. You can share a photo or video on social media. I've already been receiving these. Please tag me at Tammy Phillips Healer on Facebook or on Instagram, because then I'll share it as well. And I'm kind of collecting those photos with you, or maybe with the book and one of your animals. Or with yourself, or all 3 of you. And then share a passage maybe that moved you on social media, and make sure that you tag me. Let's start a new hashtag called Animal Soul Mirror Book. So hashtag Animal Soul Mirror Book. And then of course, suggest it to your family and friends and clients that you suspect that it might be beneficial. So thank you, Becky, for that. And then what I want to read is, I haven't read anything from the book, but I have one passage, it's 2 paragraphs that I would like to read to all of you. And actually, what I think, how I want you to receive it is maybe even putting your hand on your heart as I read it, maybe even closing your eyes if you feel called to. It's completely up to you. So here we go. It might be difficult to imagine or see, but for all of the suffering that you and your animal have endured, you have both been divinely protected, supported, and directed every step of the way. You made it this far for a reason. You are on a path of light. You have never been alone. Your suffering has served a purpose, a spiritual purpose that holds many gifts for your journey, gifts that are meant to be shared. I encourage you to seek the higher perspective within each of your experiences so you can activate the seed of your soul's highest potential and cultivate the capacity for more love. Your animals see greatness within you and want you to know that you need not fear revealing more of your expansiveness. They are mirroring your divine essence. They want you to recognize and claim their loving virtues as your own, and hone the ability to accept and love yourself as they do. As you travel along this pathway with your animal companions, my hope is that you discover that you are able to weather much more than you ever realized or imagined, and recognize that you are better for it all. Dance with life, for it will reward you with magical glimpses into your big, beautiful heart. Here's one final affirmative healing statement for you and your animal companion to declare as truth. We are safe, we are lovable, we are free, we are good, and we are authentic. Now take a deep breath in, a gift from your animals to you. So now I want to bring up the next bonus gift, how you win the bonus gifts. So let's bring up this slide, because you're actually going to email me. It's going to be a bit of a short essay. So the gifts are, let me see, they're coming. They're coming. There we go. So how to participate in this bonus giveaway for a chance to win a 1-hour animal-human tandem healing session, which is valued at $222, or one of 2 signed copies that will come directly from me of your animal, your soul mirror. I want you to email me and share a moment when an animal reflected something true within you. What did it reveal? And how did it come into your awareness? Maybe take a photo with your phone of this shot, or take a screenshot so you'll have it. Share a moment when an animal reflected something true within you. What did it reveal? And how did it come into your awareness? And my email address is pretty easy to remember. It's Tammy@TammyBillups.com. Tammy@TammyBillups.com, and I will be letting Spirit choose through me, and I will reach back out, and with your permission, I'll announce the winner on probably a social media post, and I don't have to mention your last name if you don't want. That's completely up to you, but I'll be listening to my heart for the 2 people that will receive an autographed book, and also for the person and their animal that will receive one of the animal-human tandem healing sessions, which is kind of one of the things, my signature service that you can read more about on TammyBillups.com. Thank you, Becky.
You're welcome. And there was a good question in the chat here. She asked, when will this be due? So when do they need to have this back into the
Oh,
review?
yes.
I didn't
Yeah.
know about that.
Yeah, that is a great question. So if you can, let me see, today is Tuesday. So let's give it until, I'll receive them up until Sunday for those that might just be watching the recording after the fact. So you can definitely email me up until this Sunday, whatever date that is. Thank you. Yes. So just, wow,
That would be November 2nd. So for those watching the video, yes. So Sunday, November 2nd is when, yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, perfect. Yes, I look forward to letting everybody know who won that. So I want to thank you for your love of animals, your beautiful intention to create a world that is softer, kinder, gentler, more loving to all beings. Allow the wisdom of your animal companions to guide your journey. Listen to them, watch them. They're showing you, they're guiding you. Get to that higher place, that higher perspective for all of your animal relationships. So happy healing and enjoy the book. And thank you for joining us today. If you do have questions, I'll stay a little bit longer and I'll take like 2 or 3 questions. But I would like I close all of my classes and events with the same prayer, and Becky's going to pull that up as well. So let's again say this together. Put your hand on your heart and say, may all beings be protected and safe. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings live with ease and grace. And may all beings know love. Thank you. And thank you to all the guests that took up their time today and all the beautiful energy they provided into the book in whatever manner. So thank you for those of you who need to pop off now and for staying late. And then I will take 2 to 3 questions if there are any. Wanted to make sure that in case somebody did have a question, that I am here for you. So nice to see all these beautiful faces, beautiful animal lovers connecting us. Okay, well, then I'm not seeing any, I'm not hearing of any. So that means that I was really good at answering all the questions in advance, clearly. And again, I'll send everyone off on your way. Thank you so much. Enjoy the book. And again, tag me. I want to see the pictures of you and your animal. And I just thank you and love you all from my heart to yours. Bye-bye, everyone.